the parties and the evidence and the lawyers and look at who said what and who did what and what were any communications between them, and they're going to go through this test. It's almost like the little checklist. 2 or more people combining their efforts, the common business goal with a view to profit, and the court may find that's all met and a partnership exists. And whether you thought that's right or not, it can happen. And if it happens, then the Partnership Act applies. Every province and jurisdiction in Canada has a Partnership Act with a bunch of default rules that might surprise you. For example, if Bob and I get together and contribute money and tools and different efforts and times to buy a property and start fixing it and working on it, he might be thinking, well, he's supposed to get 60 and I'm supposed to get 40%. If a partnership is found by the court, there's no written agreement sort of altering the default rules of the Act, those will apply and it will be presumed 50-50 or equal shares. He might find that to be unfair or unjust, but that's what will happen. So if we intend a partnership, we should probably register it. The bank will want to see it for sure. And we should probably do a written partnership agreement to deal with our special circumstances. Percentage ownership, what happens if someone dies, all that kind of stuff. And we'll deal with that in a moment about co-ownership of structures. In a partnership, there is no separate person, there is no separate taxpayer. So it's sort of like a sole proprietor that way. The partnership, though, is akin or similar to several sole proprietors together against the world. And that's the best way to think about it, except there's some very nasty bits about that in the sense that the partners have a personal relationship with one another and they can seek remedy against one another. So if I've done something against the partnership, something wrong, you might sue me in order to seek compensation. When we talk about partnerships, we'll see in a minute we've got what we call joint and several liability, and that's really quite significant from a legal standpoint. Assets of a partnership are held on behalf of the partners, and even though you might be the registered owner of the land and thinking, hey, this is my place, if it's found to be partnership property, then you own that property subject to the interest of the other partners. And that comes up all the time. Bob and I get together to do something and fix a house. I'm thinking it's my place because I'm on title. He goes to court and shows it's a partnership. Now he's got an interest in the house. Even though he's not on title, he's not on the mortgage, he could still have an interest as a partner. And if so, I can't deal with that house unless I deal with Bob. And that can be quite an issue. Just like the sole proprietorship, there's no separate taxpayer. So in a partnership, the income is calculated at the business level and it flows through and is taxed in the hands of the partners. So if Bob and I have this house and we've done well, we've got $100,000 worth of rent and $80,000 worth of expenses, well, I guess we have $20,000 worth of profit. So that $20,000 would then be added to our personal tax returns by the percentage of ownership. So if I've got 50% of the partnership, I guess I've got $10K of income on my personal tax return. And it goes